Hi there. Well, this is take 3 on this, so hopefully this one will work. Had a few little technical problems, but I think we got it all worked out. So I wanted to show you how I string the beads, because the last video I did, I was taking it over my shoulder, and I don't think it was really good. So this one, I've pushed the loom back on the table and put the tripod up right in front of it. So it's a little weird feeling for me because I'm used to the loom being a lot, well, not a lot closer, but closer. But, we will survive. We'll suffer for art. So the way we do this is the beads are strung in the reverse order. So I string them right to left so the entire row is strung and ready to go. And then I bring that string up behind the loom and then start. Oh, you're going to be fussy. There you go. And then start over here on the left, sort of like making a U-turn. And the needle has to pass through the bead and in front of the warp threads. The warps are these threads here, the up and down threads, so that the bead is got a warp thread on either side of it. It's got the one thread behind it and the one thread in front. Well, how do I say that? It's like it's basically in a little cage. It's prevented from jumping out of that row, and stays in place. So I have to also remember to look at the camera to see if we're going out of range of the camera. So I apologize if that happens. But so you can see me pushing on the threads to test them and make sure that I didn't go behind them. There's also when you split a thread, you can sort of like pierce it and it gets caught. It won't go up, it won't go down. And the only thing you can do is unstring it and string it again, and curse. So you'll see me testing like I did there, moving it up, moving down, make sure that it's free moving, as well as, getting them to where, I don't know what I was saying, so I'll just forget. It's really hard to concentrate on this and talk at the same time, so if I say random things, it's just my brain is engaged elsewhere. And if you're smart, you probably turned off the sound anyway, because really, who wants to listen to me talk? Here we go. So let's proceed. And when I get done here, I'm going to show you how I tighten up the row, because you can see I'm above the previous rows, just because it's a lot easier to see. And there's also some extra thread going on. So you want this thread to pass through as many rows as you can. If you try to tie off and cut each thread, then you just end up with a whole bunch of ends that you've got to weave in, and knots down both sides of the loom. So you have a lot more than twice as many warp threads to weave in, or weft threads, and a piece that's not as sightly. And it's funny, this camera won't focus on the beads because the beads are so tiny, I guess. It doesn't recognize them as the subject, so when I pull away, then it gets all fuzzy. Plus, this is the finest in about 2 or 3 models ago of this particular cell phone. I love it. I think it does a great job of taking photos, taking films And if you look at my other videos, they were all shot on the same Samsung phone. Little plug, of course, Samsung. Oops, I'm out of screen. Let's move this up and move it over and tip the phone back in order because my tripod just doesn't want to hold the thing steady. So if it's looking kind of artsy there, it's not really on purpose this time. Come on, there we go. So sometimes you got to talk to them. See how there's two in between those two warp threads, so that can't be, or else you have the wrong count at the end, and you have something that looks very messy as well. Sometimes when I know in the middle of a row that something has gone horribly wrong with the count because things don't line up. But we're getting to near the end of this piece, so there's going to be several rows of just black, unless I do something creative, but I probably won't. Okay, so at the end, and you see this little thread here, the previous row came up and over there, so I got to get rid of that. So let's get my needle out of the way. And how I do that, I'm moving you back over to the other side, is, remember, it thread to the U-turn over here, so if I pull on this, I'll get that little loop to come up. Take my double point knitting needle, or I guess any needle would do it, and I pull down on the right side so that there's no gap and no extra thread there, and then taking the thread, I just give it a little tug. Doesn't have to be a lot, and you don't want it to be a lot, or else your piece starts coming in sort of like an hourglass, and that's not a good look. So it's learning the proper tension of making sure you don't have extra threads, but also making sure that it's the same width as all the rows below it. Mine had a little problem at the beginning, but I'm blaming that on it being a new loom. So there it is. Let's pull back a little bit, and you can see where we are. Most of his head is there. Most of his right arm is there, and he's looking pretty spiffy. Thanks a lot. Make sure you click like if you like this video, and I really appreciate anybody that will subscribe and leave comments. I love that because it tells me what did you like about this, what didn't you like about that. I mean, anybody can hit a thumbs up, thumbs down, but when you put a comment in there, it really helps the person filming this to know, is this something you want to see, or is this something you not want to see? What would be interesting for future videos? All of that is real helpful. So thanks so much. Bye-bye.